That took us into match number 4, which saw Asuka face off with Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship as contested between two SmackDown stars.
That's a very, very good line you just put there. That's good. Interesting, they don't look like they're going to do the swap over like they did last year with the belts. With Charlotte and was it Charlotte and Becky or?
Well, I mean, how much of a cluster was that?
Oh well, that was only because Charlotte got a bit upset and a bit precious about it. Interesting match this one. I got to be honest with you. I was looking forward to Asuka winning, and obviously she did. I thought it was time. But the crowd were really, really, really quiet. They didn't get into this match whatsoever. I thought the match lacked the vibe and atmosphere. And I think they both responded accordingly, the wrestlers. I thought it was a very lackluster bout, and certainly not that neither of them performed anywhere near their best. And I thought they were just going through the motions. I don't know whether Belair didn't want to do that much because she was dropping it or what, or there was something off in this match, in my opinion.
I didn't really see anything being off, but I am happy that Bianca's finally dropped the belt.
Oh, me too. I was well and truly over her.
I've been wanting it for months.
Yes.
And so, as like the match was, look, the match was, well, was a match, right? But it wasn't so much that, I don't know,
it lacked an atmosphere, it lacked a vibe, it lacked something. It just looked like they were going through the motions. They weren't invested in it. Even also now, of course, if your opponent's not getting into it and doing the right thing, as Mike would know, you can only do so much yourself. You know, it takes two to make a match. But I wrote down here, Asuka wins an absolutely shit match. Only good thing is Asuka's the new champion. And gave it 3 out of 10. I thought it was a horrible match.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty ordinary, but then again, that's like, if you're like, I'm not saying this is Bianca's fault or anything, but if you're saying that because she knew she was dropping it, she's not going to do much, then what's that? What's that telling of her?
It's hard. Look, you can only look. It's just how I would see it one way, you'd see it another. Mick will see it another. But I just looked at it and I thought, oh. And the crowd there was just nothing. They were not into this at all. That was really, really, and noticeably quiet.
Yeah, it was really quiet.
Yeah, they just sort of sat there politely, but they were, I don't know. And it's not because it was a women's match, I don't think, because the match prior with Trish and that was okay. But it was just, I don't know. Am I a mile off target, Mick, or how did you see it, or?
No, both of you ain't a mile off target. It was pretty lackluster.
That's the word I used. Yeah.
Even the finish. The finish was almost so. I don't want to offend Bianca Belair, so we're not going to have a clean pin. So we'll do it with an angle with the mist to the eyes through the fingers, which is an old Muda trick, right? Spit on his own hand and put it in the eyes. It's an old Muda trick.
But she didn't even really get her on the eyes, and Belair's like oversalted it. And then when they pan the camera back, there's no blue on Belair.
I think maybe Bella had a bit of boo-boo face. She didn't want to drop the belt. And
I agree 100%.
I think that they've had to come up with a compromise to get the belt dropped.
But she had no blue on her. Like there was a little tiny fingertip streak, and then when they put the camera back on her, she was completely clean in the face, but she's still going with her hands and carrying on, and there's nothing there. Her face is cleaner than mine.
No, I think there's a bit of boo-boo face going on there. They didn't. I don't think she wanted to drop the belt, and you could see in her performance lacked energy. You know, and I think in that, I don't think Asuka's had much energy neither because I think she knew she didn't want to drop the belt to her. So it
Well,
was a
she
little
would have known, and as you know better than me, if your opponent's not going to sort of play their part, there's only so much you can do. There's not a lot you can do,
yeah, that's right. So
and it makes you look weak too.
yeah, so I think that's something. I think maybe maturity.
Oh,
On or Belair's. Sometimes you get wrestlers they just don't want to drop the belt. They get the belt, they believe that the belt's real, and they're at the top end. I mean, it was time to drop it because she was starting to get stale.
oh
So
God, yeah.
right, whoever was booking was right to drop the belt. But I think she's a bit one of these ones that are a bit precious and doesn't like to lose.
Yeah, well, I've said, look, I've never really been a huge fan of her, to be honest. I just think her whole persona is almost a wee bit like the Housewives of Hollywood type. She's just a bit too over the top and a bit too, you're only as good as the booker makes you.
That's
Like,
right.
You know, and if she has that, as you call it, boo boo face, that's not going to do her any good for a while. Like they'll think, well, you went out there and just sort of showed everyone you were pissed off, and I don't think that's championship material.
Yeah, and people don't want to do business with someone like that. You imagine Flair or any of the top girls want to do business with someone like that? No, not really.
Mm.
They're got to drop the belts. They've got to drop the belt. I mean, Flair dropped the belt to Rhea Ripley, and she put in 110% performance.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
that's how it is. I mean, if you're going to have Boo Boo Face over it, you're probably in the wrong business going to UFC.
Well, like I just, anyway, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was, as I said, a very lackluster, just go through the motions, come out, do what we got to do, get out.
Yeah,